Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Mishpacha wahabarim. What's up? It's your girl, Sister Ashanti, aka Shanti Doc, on the Facebook, aka or BKA 916 Shine. Shalom, shalom. Sister Ace. How you doing? How you been? Hope you had a good and blessed day. And hope your night continues to be full of completeness, wellness, and wholeness. This is Debate Talk for You segment, the second quarter. And I'm broadcasting on Debate Talk for You channel, and I'm broadcasting on 916 Shine channel. All right. So I got an open panel for those who want to come on, an open panel to talk about compelling evangelism. Compelling evangelism. This is just pretty much a show where we can talk about what it means to compel and what it means to evangelize, what it means to have compelling evangelism when you put those two definitions of words together. So it's an open panel. This is StreamYard here. So the people who want to come on, send me a messenger or put your I can't necessarily put the link in the chat, but if you send in my messenger from Facebook, Shanti Doc, if you look for me on Shanti Doc on Facebook, I can send you the link and you can come in and you can chop it up with us, fellowship with us, build with us as we talk about this topic, right? Good to hear you doing lovely. Good to hear you doing lovely, sis. It's always a pleasure to have you come on and join in with us. Here go brother B to the Izzy. Brother B to the Izzy. What you say?
Yo, what's the word? And all love and praises to the Most High God, and greetings to all who are watching.
Yep. Greetings to all who are watching and listening. So we're on Debate Talk for You, the second quarter segment, and we're also streaming from 916 Shine channel, my personal YouTube channel. So this is called Compelling Evangelism. And before I get into the overview of what the topic is about, again, this is open panel. If you want the link, send me a direct message to my messenger. I'll get you the link to get in on the panel, and you could talk with us, share your insight, share your thoughts, share your opinion, share what's on your heart, mind, soul, and spirit. We would love to have you join in on the conversation. All right, so compelling evangelism. Before I do that, Ko Tehalim, Ko Kabod, Wahati Bedeth Yahweh, Abinu, Eloheinu. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, our Elohim, our Father. And I hope y'all good tonight. I hope y'all good tonight. We're going to talk about some things. Hopefully not too long, but we'll take the time that we need. Most people don't have to go to work tomorrow. So the word compel. I'll just start with the dictionary word, the Webster's dictionary definition of the word compel, right? It means to force or oblige someone to do something or to bring about something by the use of force or pressure or drive forcibly, right? That's the word compel. Now, when they say force or oblige somebody to do something or bring something about by the use of force or pressure, sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be physical pressure or pressure of physical violence. It could be the demeanor or the approach or the attitude or the words, to how you're obliging somebody to do something, right? And so I took the word compelling. So compelling. When you're compelling, you're evoking interest. This is the definition for it, right? We'll look at the scriptures and text definitions of it too as well, right? So compelling means evoking interest, attention, or admiration in a powerfully irresistible way. So synonyms or similar words means, captivating, gripping, engrossing, spellbinding, or riveting, right? So also it means to have something not able to be refuted. Inspiring conviction. Inspiring conviction. In inspiring a conviction. Well, what's a conviction, you say, Shanti? Well, a conviction is this. A conviction is um, to hold firm to a belief or an opinion. To hold firm to a belief or an opinion, right? So when you say, when you're inspiring conviction, you're inspiring somebody to grasp or take hold of a belief so firmly and so tight, right? And then when you look at the definition of evangelism, it means what? Spreading of the gospel, spreading of the good news. By what? You're preaching it by mouth or your personal witness, living it out by example, the way you act, behave, or conduct yourself, right? Like I said, your demeanor, your approach, your attitude, the way you're conveying a message, right? So compelling evangelism, it would be pretty much the the spreading of the good news or gospel, right? The spreading of the good news or the gospel by personal witness that is brought about by evoking the interest, attention, and admiration, right? In a powerfully irresistible way. However, we want to talk about what kind of compelling evangelism is supposed to be exhibited by the believers of the Most High Yahweh through His Son Yeshua. And yes, we believe in Yeshua HaMashiach, or Yeshua the Messiah, or Jesus Christos, which is Jesus the Christ. The Messiah or Mashiach or Christos means anointed, right? Anointed, someone who was designated for a task, right? So that's what compelling evangelism is. So, BA, before I get in further to the conversation, before I move in further to the conversation, do you want to say anything, my brother?
You know what, sis? Let's just get to the conversation, and I'll add on as the conversation progresses.
Okay, okay. Before I do, before we move on, I want to say shalom, shalom to brother Mendez, shalom to brother Orthodox Moore. How you doing? How you doing? Thanks for letting the people know to hit the like button when you come in. Thank you very much, brother Orthodox Moore. And so brother Vinny, I don't know how much you heard because I was on my spiel, but I was giving some Webster's dictionary and free dictionary definitions of compelling evangelism. But go ahead and you can introduce yourself, say what's on your heart, mind, soul, and spirit.
Yeah, peace everybody. You know, hope y'all having a good night. Um, just getting ready to going shopping so I can pick up some things for tomorrow. Going fishing. You know, not getting no turkey or nothing like that. Uh, but
Haha, we need to be with
uh,
you. Dang, brother
man,
Vinny.
I'm telling you, you can come up to Berryessa.
Oh, okay.
We
Dang. Oh, you going up to Barry? Yes.
Yeah, going up to Berryessa this time. Yeah,
Okay.
You got the Lake Berryessa.
yeah, Lake Berryessa. Yeah,
I ain't been there in years, man. It's been a long time.
Hey, that's a
yeah.
nice lake. That's a nice lake.
Yes,
But
it is.
it's a
Yes, it
good
is.
little it's a good little what, 1.5, 2 hour drive from there.
Yep, it's about one and a half. Depend on, we do a little stopping, you know, got to get some ice for the ice chest and everything, little
Right.
some sunflower seeds. Got to have my
Right.
seeds, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so just I'm looking forward to this build. I think it's gonna be it should be very interesting, and hopefully people edify. That's the main goal. So you know, hopefully
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
learn something. Yep, definitely.
Yeah. I don't really have a formal lesson. I just pretty much wanted to come and have an open dialogue, an open panel discussion, what I like to call get it off your chest.
Get a little get it off your chest, yeah.
Right. Look, get it off your chest. But
Yeah.
yeah. So brother Vinny, I put this. I had this idea to talk about this, and it's crazy. What you say that you're getting ready to do tomorrow. I know what other people are getting ready to do tomorrow, but you going out and you recreating and you making it a time off where you treating it like a regular day that you would take off from work and go hang out and be a family man that you are. And and there are, us here, some of us here like you are, me. I know me. I'll say this: peace, 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 Bleedo. Peace to the panel. So I I'm gonna be chilling here, right? But I'm not necessarily gonna talk about that. But we can infuse the way we feel about not indulging in certain things, um and this all entails what compelling evangelism is. So we make a choice to go out and try to live the gospel by our actions, behavior, our conduct, our demeanor. I like to always use the word approach, or how I meet people where they're at, and how I talk to people, and how I address people's concerns. Right? I try to live how Yeshua lived. I try to imitate Yeshua. When we say follower, we mean to imitate, right? What I see Yeshua doing, I try to do to the best of my ability. What I don't see Yeshua doing, I try not to do, right? And a lot of those times when we're following or imitating Yeshua the Messiah, the things that we do are going to look so different or unique or abnormal to the average outside person, or to the average outside person who has a faith similar to ours, you know. And so when people like me and BA go out, they see what we do or what we don't do, and I call that evangelism. I don't necessarily speak to people or tell them up front why I'm doing something or why I'm not doing something. I actually pick and choose my battles, and I actually try to use some discernment and wisdom as to, if somebody asks me a question about why I don't do something in particular, I have to I have to simmer, take my time, and see if I'm going to actually give them an answer. Because sometimes the people are asking not in sincerity. Sometimes the people are asking so that they can pick a fight with you, right? And so I like to live my life as Yeshua did, to the best of my ability, by doing that, living it, my behavior, my conduct, right? So uh, a lot of people ask me, that's one thing. A lot of people ask me, why, Shanti, haven't you convinced or persuaded your family to walk the way you walk or do the things that you do within your faith? And they see me doing all these things, like reading the biblical Hebrew, reading the biblical Greek. They know I do these shows. They know I don't come around certain times of the year. They know why I don't, without even me specifically spewing out my mouth why I don't. And that's my witness. But what I'm saying is, there has been times where people have asked me, why are you so smart and so astute, and you cannot get people of your family and friends to take on the faith that you do? Why can't you, being so smart, so intelligent, so sophisticated, and so well versed in the text, you being all this, you cannot get these people to share the same opinion that you do? Why don't you go out and teach more and preach more and talk more? I'm like, well, my the way I'm living, my example should be a witness enough. And I believe it is witness enough because I've had people tell me, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Just this past week. Hey Shanti, man, we know y'all don't do none of that stuff, but what we finna do, we finna go put up our pagan Christmas tree. And I didn't say nothing. I didn't say anything. I did not respond. I didn't say anything. And there was a few weeks ago, a person asked me and my husband, which inspired one of my posts. We said, they said, what y'all doing for, Thanksgiving? And I'm like, oh, we just gonna be chilling here. We don't really do all that, And the person responded, oh, y'all don't celebrate them pagan holidays. Now, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything of this sort, and I didn't even respond. I was just like, yeah, whatever. I didn't say anything. So guess what? The witness. I didn't even have to go into a long spiel or dissertation to be compelling in my evangelism. They know I believe in Yeshua. I talk about Yeshua often with my posts. So with that being said, let me get y'all take. Let me get y'all take. Compelling evangelism. I just think my witness of my conduct, my behavior, my actions are to be enough. And I really don't mind if people don't come over to this walk. I would love for them to come over to this walk, but I don't mind because everybody got a choice. But go ahead, Brother Vinny or Brother BA.
Brother Vinny, if you want to go, brother, you go right ahead first if you would like.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's interesting what you said. I think when I think of compelling evangelism, I mostly I mostly think of like action, like that word that BA, that's one of his favorite words, action. You know what I'm saying? If you got to be doing exactly what you say, or nobody's going to take you serious. I remember when I first started, really getting into like trying to keep the commandments and everything like that. I was turning down like birthdays. I don't even do birthdays. I don't do Thanksgiving. I don't do no holidays, nothing like that. And I got a lot of pushback, you know. But as time grew on and people started seeing that I was serious about it, then they started really respecting my choices, and I wasn't getting no arguments anymore. I wasn't getting any kind of pushback whatsoever. Well, I won't say any kind of pushback, but I wasn't not like when I first started out. you know and I always like to use my kid's mom as an example. Like she was kind of into it at first, and then she kind of fell out of it. And she would wonder why people wouldn't respect her um wishes, is because she wasn't being consistent with it. One day she'll say she wasn't celebrating nothing, then the next day she's turning around and she's celebrating. Or one day she says she's not eating pork or no shellfish or nothing like that. Next thing she's going out eating that stuff. And then when she once somebody gave her some pushback, then she would think about it, and then the next day or a couple days later she'll cave in. And then the next thing she talked to me, then it's going back, and it's like, well, I can't eat this no more. So nobody was really respecting what she was doing because she wasn't staying steadfast. So I think that like one of the things that pop into my mind is just basically action. you know I've never really been a type of person to go out and push. I was never a push type of person. You know, if somebody asks me about it, then I'll tell them. I'll share my information, the information that leads me to believe what I do. But I've never really been a push type of person, except for when I first joined the truth. Then, what we like to call the truth. But except for when I first started studying and really getting into the Bible, you know, then you want to convert everybody. I went through that stage. Then I kind of settled back down to my normal ways. But yeah, I think it was mainly what I think about is action. You know, you got to be consistent
and what you're doing, and if people see how you treat people, then it's just like what the Bible calls us. It's a light to the world. uh, I like to let my actions speak. You know, I'm not going. Just in case, just and a good example is we just got done doing the job, just wrapped up tonight, and people who was working for is uh, some married gay women, or well, I don't like to say gay because that's gay means happy, but women that practice homosexuality who was married. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they people. So I was just in there talking. I'm not gonna go in their house trying to evangelize to them and do none of that. No, I'm gonna just let my actions speak. Wear my fringes everywhere I go. So everybody sees. If they have any questions they can ask. But I mean, they was cool people. But they in the world just like everybody else. But I mean, I don't even see that being as like no more different than somebody out there selling drugs. We all know people that sell drugs. In certain cases, you all know people that's out there soliciting sex. Or being the person who's in charge of those who solicit sex. So we all know these type of people. So you can't be out there bashing on the people who practice homosexuality, but then you're not giving the same kind of things to the people who out there selling drugs or pimping or and pandering. you know so I mean it's all these things is crazy. But at the same time, man, if they not really in the truth, then what's the use? I mean, I'm gonna sit up there and I'll tell you what I know. you know. But I do think that the most powerful um, type of evangelism that we have is the actions and how we walk, how we treat people, and then what we do. I think it really shines, and people see it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll yield.
Yeah, like you said,
Um,
on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? That always solidifies that you're serious, that you mean what you say, and it has people looking at you in a different light. Go ahead, BA.
no, I was just gonna say real quick. I think we all have drunk of that cup of wanting to convert everybody that we see at one time, and, and I think a lot of people go through that. But then you have to show some type of sign of maturity. And as I progress in my walk or progress in my days of doing this, I got to a point to where I can respect various other people's opinions, whether I agree with it or not. But what bothers me, or what I have a hard time receiving, is when people uh, who claim to be secure in their faith, when they are constantly and constantly and constantly and constantly bugging other individuals who don't want to receive what they have to say. That to me is something that the Messiah didn't have to do. If you heard what he said and received it, he said the kingdom has come to you. And if there are people who didn't believe him, he didn't force nothing on nobody. He took it for what it was and went about his business. And there was times the disciples were saying, "Why are you speaking to them in parables?" Because it was not given to them. And the reason why that it's not given to them is because there was something deep within inside them that caused them to reject it. But for a person to reject the word of God, you have to make that choice. Just like a person who makes the choice to receive it. Um, and another thing I notice, when it comes to those who call themselves the children of Israel, I have been saying it for the last 5 to 6, 7 years. Nobody is going to respect you when you feel like you have to answer every single question that somebody has to ask of you concerning who you are. If you know you're Israel, running your mouth is not going to do anything about it. Because being an Israelite is based on your behavior and your actions and your conduct. If we're going to call ourselves the children of Israel, and we all will agree that the curses are upon us, or vice versa, or whichever you prefer. But in the curses, the Most High says that I will redeem you, and nobody will buy you. So if we can admit that we are suffering the short end of the stick of the curses, then why are you sitting up here going back and forth with the same group of people who don't like you or respect you to begin with? And with that, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read a couple of things. I'm gonna read from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58, and I'm gonna read from the scriptures ISR. Sometimes I'll go back and forth between the scriptures ISR and then the ESV, right? The English Standard Version. But this is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. This is what Vinny was saying. Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always excelling in the work of the master, knowing that your labor is not in vain in the master. See how you're living, how you're being portrayed, how you're portraying yourself, how you're exhibiting yourself is not worthless. People see it. You know, just remember the Most High had to meet you where you were at. A lot of us haven't been in this walk for more than 10 or 15 years. Some of us, me, I've been in this solid since 2013, so I haven't been in it long, you know. And I do want to say this to Brother BA. This is John chapter 6. This is John chapter 6. I'm going to read a few verses. So I'm going to start reading. Actually, let me just read one verse for right now. It is verse 63. It is the spirit that gives life. The flesh does not profit at all. The words that I speak to you are spirit and are life. But there are some of you who do not believe. For Yeshua knew from the beginning who they were who did not believe and who would deliver him up. And he said, because of this, I have said to you that no one is able to come to me unless it has been given to him by my Father. Verse 66. From then on, many of his taught ones or disciples withdrew and were not walking with him anymore. Verse 67. Yeshua therefore said to the 12, do you also wish to go away? 68. Then Simon Kepha, or Shimon Kepha, Simon Peter answered him, Master, to whom shall we go? You possess words of everlasting life. Verse 69. And we have believed, and we know that you are the Messiah, the Son of the living Elohim. Yeshua answered them, have I not chosen you, the 12, and one of you is a devil? Now he was speaking of Yehuda or Judas Iscariot, right? So, mind you, I read this because this is my answer a lot of times for people who ask me, why can't you convince or convince or persuade people to think how you think, have the same opinion that you do when it comes to your faith? Some of the disciples, some of the students of Yeshua, the Messiah, walked away from Yeshua in front of his face. He knew from the beginning some of them didn't believe, some of them didn't want to be saved. Now, what I see here is Yeshua not running after the people who walked away from him. I don't see Yeshua talking about, hey, partner, I need you to hurry up and come back. Don't you want to get saved? You better come and listen to me. Don't you want some salvation? I'm the Messiah. You better get down and lay down. You know, you didn't see Yeshua running after these people, begging them to believe in him, or else he did not tell them, hey, you better believe in me, or you're going to be going to the lake of fire, or you're going to be going to hell. He didn't say that. He didn't run after them. He didn't chase after them. And he didn't even force anybody to look at him as the Messiah. He just said, hey, the ones who stayed around, he said, hey, you gonna leave too? But go ahead. Who was gonna say something? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the Messiah was not going to exalt himself because he understood the prophecies that pointed to him. He's also known as the servant in the prophets. I think it's Isaiah 49. And if you're a servant of the Most High God, you will not and you are not going to exalt yourself because you are his humble servant and you have a job to do, no matter what everybody else has to say. I just want to say that.
Yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and continue. Go ahead.
No, that was the point I was making. If you know who you are, um, there's no need to always try to make yourself relevant, especially against people who don't care much for you.
Mm.
It was not meant for you to make yourself relevant towards people who don't want to believe you. You have a job to do, and that is to reach out to people who need to hear the gospel. When
Mm.
we read in Mark chapter 1 and verse 14,
Mm.
the Messiah said, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near. It's time for us to embrace this kingdom that one day that rocket is going to grow and fill the earth and be a mountain. And it's not going to be about how many debates or arguments that you won. It's going to be all about your actions on a daily basis and how many people were you able to be a light to. When you're a light draws. That's why Yeshua says in Matthew chapter 5, let your light shine, that the Father who lives in you gets all the glory. I'm paraphrasing. You are supposed to be a light that brings people to the light. So hopefully that all humanity has a chance to accept this, to have and embrace the gift of salvation that the Most High has originally given to humanity to begin with. You go ahead, sis.
Yeah, I wanna talk about the fruits of the spirit. But before I do talk about the fruits of the spirit, yes, like I was talking to you before, BA, the other day about the light. How we're to be a light to the nation. A light illuminates and allows somebody to see their way along a path, right? And we're supposed to be that illumination that helps people see their way on the path to get to the door. The door is Yeshua, right? Yeshua is the door to get into the pasture or the house or the kingdom. The pasture, the house, or the kingdom belongs to the Most High Yahweh, right? So this is why in Genesis 15 we believe that the gospel came way before the New Testament. You know, the gospel came way before the New Testament. I want to read Genesis. What is it? 15. Some people be missing this, but Genesis 15, starting in verse 1, the scriptures ISR. Um, this is after Abraham fought the five kings of the area of Babylon. Says after these events, the word of Yahweh came to Abram in a vision. Now, the word of Yahweh, we understand in the Aramaic is the Memra, in the Greek is the Logos, right? And we understand that the Memra, the Logos, or the word, actually manifested in the flesh and came here and tabernacled us with us in the earth. That word that was always personified manifested in the flesh, made itself a reality in the flesh as Yeshua, right? From John chapter 1. So in Genesis 15, it says, after these events, the word of Yahweh came to Abram in a vision, right? Saying, do not be afraid, Abram, I am your shield. Your reward is exceedingly great. And Abram said, Master Yahweh, what would you give me, seeing I go childless, and the heir of my house is Eliezer of Damascus, right? And Abram said, see, you have given me no seed, and see, one born in my house is my heir. Verse 4, and see, the word of Yahweh. See, that word is that ambassador, that representative, right? That ambassador, that representative. The word of Yahweh came to him saying, this one is not your heir, but he who comes from your own body is your heir. And he brought him outside and said, look now toward the heavens and count the stars if you are able to count them. And he said to him, see, and he said to him, so are your seed. And he believed in Yahweh, and he reckoned it to him for righteousness, right? Then what's the verse I'm trying to get to? It says, through you all the seed will be blessed. Where's that, BA? Through you all the seed will be blessed.
You talking about Genesis chapter 12?
Yep.
Yep. Genesis chapter 12.
Always
I think
always
that's
go backward, then go
yep.
forward.
1, 2, 3. I think 1, 2, 3. Through your
Yeah,
seed,
Genesis
Abraham.
12.
Yeah, all the families of the earth.
Yep. Yahweh said to Abram, go yourself out of your land, from your relatives, and from your father's house to a land which I show you, and I shall make you a great nation and bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I shall bless those who bless you and curse him who curses you. And in you all the clans of the earth shall be blessed. All the clans of the earth, right? So this is the way. This is the gospel preached to Abraham, right? Humanity, humankind, human being have the way to get back. And I'm still going to the fruits of the spirit, right? But when you go to Genesis 12, you notice Genesis 12, 1 verses 1 to 3 happen right after the scattering of the people at the Tower of Babel. The whole earth was of one people and one language, right? And then, because of their ill will intentions to overthrow the Most High Yahweh from the throne, the Most High Yahweh came down with 70 messengers. And those 70 messengers were divided. They were divided over the 70 people, the 70 nations, the 70 geographical locations. And so they were all separated out. Now, the Most High Yahweh, after that, I believe, to get humanity back together, united as one, with the righteousness to serve the Most High Yahweh, the Most High Yahweh saw that Abram, right, Abram, whose family was idolatrous, he decided not to follow in the idolatrous ways. So that's where Genesis 12 comes in at. So the Most High Yahweh now has Abram or Abraham to spearhead a way for humanity to be brought back together, united, after they were all separated out. Right? And so the seed that the seed that's going to come through Abraham's lineage is going to be that door to that door that leads back into the pasture, the house, or the kingdom. Right? That's the gospel. And so the fruits of the spirit, we're supposed to be displaying the fruits of the spirit to help our light illuminate people on the path so they can get through the door. This is Galatians 5.
Exactly.
Galatians 5 verse 22, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, trustworthiness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no Torah, right? And those who are of Messiah have impaled the flesh with its passions and the desires. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another, right? So we're supposed to have some love, approach people in kindness and goodness, gentleness and meekness. Don't mean you a sucker. It just means you got some decency and integrity about yourself, right? It means you're displaying the characteristics of the Most High Yahweh, right? Self-control, right? Self-control. Are you not going to get all in your feelings and emotions, right? When you're trying to talk to someone about why you don't do something, about why you don't indulge or participate or partake in something, right? And if somebody's going to get bothered by you not volunteering yourself to participate in something or indulge in something, then that's a personal thing that they have to deal with. That's what I always say. The people have to go to the Most High Yahweh for themselves and get their personal issues dealt with. Because if you're a grown person getting bothered by somebody else's choices, that's a personal issue, right? And it doesn't mean that the person doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that we can't get along. It just means that I've let my yes be yes and I let my nay be nay. Anything further from that is from Satanas. So again, when we talk about compelling evangelism, my thing is the debate scene. I love a good debate when it's edifying. I don't necessarily like a debate when people are going back and forth about the same topic and they're trying to beat people. They're trying to beat people down, berate, ridicule, criticize, belittle somebody for not having the same opinion or not coming to the same conclusion that they come to. Right? People are going to believe what they want to, and they're going to believe until the Most High Yahweh removes the scales from their eyes, or they're not going to see something until they come across the same resources, information, and articles or documents or encyclopedia that you came across, right? And sometimes the people do get the information, they have it sitting right there in front of them, they comprehend it, and they still don't want to believe. This is for those who have ears to hear and for those who have eyes to see. And a lot of times, like BA was saying, the word can become a stumbling block, right? The word can become a stumbling block because all the accuser needs is a little bit of doubt. And then when you have a little bit of doubt, and then you start fiddling around and playing around with rejection of the Most High Yahweh and the Messiah, then then that's when the Most High Yahweh can actually hand you over to what you've been to what you've been flirting with, as BA would say. That's what happened to Pharaoh. See, the Most High Yahweh actually gave Pharaoh into what Pharaoh wanted. Pharaoh's heart was hard. It was hard to begin with. If you go back into the Exodus story, you can see initially in the Hebrew. I'm not looking at it right now, but you could see that Pharaoh's heart was already hard. Pharaoh made a choice to be a hard-pressed, cold-blooded man. And the Most High said, okay, you want to be hard, you want to be hard in the heart, I'll give you hard in the heart. I'm gonna drive you so deep down to where even when you think about coming out of it, you can't come out of it. That's why it's good to be careful with what you wish for. It's good to be careful with what you wish for. But I'll yield for now. I'll yield for now. BA, Brother Vinny, you got something to add?
Yeah, he was making some great points, you know. And one of the things that kind of stuck out to me was when you was talking about how we get upset or we get in that debate spirit. You know, it's like we feel like it's our duty to force somebody to believe, well, whatever, you know, when and then we get like this. We kind of get a pride thing. Like I know debates, they're supposed to be about edification, but it's mainly about competition. It's like I know more than you. You know, like even if like I've seen people like even when they show somebody something right in the scripts and the people humble down and they're like, okay, yeah, you're right. I mean, you get so far into that spirit, man. And some of them guys, man, they still, see, he don't know nothing, blah 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 blah. Even after you humble down, So I think it's a spirit that goes along with that. It's mainly pride, But one thing that I always like to stay, keep my mind on is that no matter how much I learn, no matter how much I attain, in the information that I seek, that none of this information is ours. I mean, people been arguing this stuff for years. Yeah, you was allowed to tap into it, so you got a good level of understanding on what you know. But none of this stuff, man, it is our information, man. We was our eyes have been open, you know, so we can't boast in anything that was given to us, basically, you know. And I think that that's where most of us go wrong, and especially when you pulled that verse about, the people that was with Christ and they wouldn't believe. I mean, they turned away. You see all these miracles that he was doing, and they turned away. You know, that says a whole lot about people, man. So I mean, you sitting over there trying to argue with somebody about this or that, you think that you're gonna turn their hearts into doing something that you want them to do, and they wasn't even doing that with Christ, and he had all the miracles. All the prophets, Elijah, all of them. You know what I'm saying? He damn near had to beg the Most High, to send down some, blessings or whatever, just so that people will believe. With the I mean, it took a soaking wet uh, bull on the altar with some wet wood and to get flamed up for them people to believe. You know, and, I mean, people's heart is where it's going to be at. And one of the things is most of the time the people that's deceived, man, it's on purpose. It's like what you was bringing out with the Pharaoh. You know, they can't see, they cannot see, so it's not really meant for them. Not until they humble down. You know, you gotta. Yeah, that's one of the things you gotta be is humble, and I definitely yield on that.
BA, you got anything to bring out?
Now, just listening to you guys, man. I consider you guys elders. When you're amongst your elders, be slow to speak and just listen. You know what I'm saying?
Right on, right on. Yeah, I do want to bring out Isaiah 29, and this was going with what I was saying. Starting at verse 10, it says, "For Yahweh has poured out on you the spirit of deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, the prophets, and he has covered your heads, the seers." See, if Yeshua himself didn't force the people to believe him, what does our debates and finessing the scriptures and going back and forth with people over the books that we've read gonna do? You know what I mean? Like Brother Vinny said, we gotta humble down because we understand who is in control here, who's doing this. The scriptures plainly say this, right? In the entire vision, I'm going to continue verse 11. Isaiah 29, verse 11. "And the entire vision is to you like the words of a book that is sealed, which men give to one who knows books, saying, 'Read this, please.' And he said, 'I am unable, for it is sealed.' And the book is given to one who does not know books, saying, 'Read this, please.' And he said, 'I have not known books.'" And Yahweh says, "Because this people has drawn near with its mouth and with its lips, they have glorified me, and it has kept its heart far from me, and their fear of me has become a command of men that is taught. We know what the commandments of men are: traditions. Traditions. A lot of people can't see the forest for the trees because of their traditions. You know, that's what's important to people a lot of times. And people will confess, hey, I believe this and I believe this, that, and the third. But guess what? People are going to believe what they want to believe. People have a strong conviction over what they do based on personal bias experiences, and just to think that we're so smart to try to convert somebody over. We think we think we're that big and bad to get somebody to acquiesce to our will. Like, aren't we supposed to be loving in our approach with compelling evangelism to get somebody to understand, hey, it's about the will of the Most High Yahweh. And not only is it about the will of the Most High Yahweh, it's about the timing that Yahweh does things in. Maybe it's not time, right, for people to understand what we do. Like like Vinny said, one example of going back and forth over something for 2,000 years is if Yeshua is the Messiah. And then what's been popular lately is Yeshua the Messiah born of a woman who never had sex with a man or not? We got these things that we can argue back and forth with all day. For over 2,000 years, these arguments have been going on, these debates have been going on, these quarrels have been going on, and what do they get us? My thing is, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line with conceding, and not conceding, not because this is a competition, but sometimes it's just good to just walk away and let the Most High Yahweh harvest in the Most High Yahweh's due time. My thing is, why not respect the Most High Yahweh's process? We always talk about healing and how it's the process. Well, why can't we respect the Most High Yahweh's process and the Most High Yahweh's time? I'm just grateful and thankful that the Most High Yahweh opened my eyes when the Most High Yahweh did, and that I wanted to make an effort in my conviction to do His will to the best of my ability. Right? A lot of times, go ahead, BA. You gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna add a commentary. Notice how you said you chose to do the will of the Most High. That was it. It's a choice. That's exactly what it is. A choice. You go ahead, sis. Finish up.
Yeah, it is a choice. And guess what? It's the Most High Yahweh who gives a choice. Right? It's the Most High Yahweh who gives a choice. The thing is, it's up to you to choose. The Most High Yahweh is letting you know it's your responsibility. You are accountable to choose. Make a choice. Like I said, let yea be yea or nay be nay. That's in Matthew chapter 7. Right? But the thing is, when we respect the Most High Yahweh's process, we understand the Most High Yahweh's time. Brother Orthodox Moore said the line is salvation. If it's not salvation issue, it ain't that deep. I don't think any of this is deep, Brother Orthodox Moore. You know what I'm saying? ain't none of it deep. I just my thing, Brother Orthodox Moore, like you said, we should use all other energy to build. That's what I'm talking about. What I did was when I was down and out, when I was 32 years old, I had just went through the passing of my mother, and all my family was just on me about I'm supposed to be this family savior, and it was wearing down on me. I felt oppressed. I got to the point where I ain't even want to be here no more. I didn't take my life, but I just didn't want to be here anymore, so I wouldn't have to deal with it. So I reached out to the Most High and I started reading. And then as I started reading, I started to understand some things, and I started to research a little bit more. And I was like, this is to get my life together. This is personal relationship. This is personal relationship. You know what I mean? I understand the Most High Yahweh rescued me, delivered me out of an oppressive situation. That was my salvation, right? And so, in order to thank and praise the Most High for getting me out of a distressful situation, I want to be obedient, right? I want to have that personal relationship to where I'm so obedient. My Father in heaven, Yahweh, is rewarding me because I've personally experienced that. Like I said, personal experience. Right now, the things that I've experienced and the things that I've gone through, and the assistance that the Most High Yahweh sent to me through His Son Yeshua. If I go out and evangelize, it's pretty much I evangelize with my actions. People see me being different. People see me being unique, right? I'm totally different from the chick I used to be. My backstory is I was rapping since the age of 10 years old. Started being in the studio at 12. Came back to Sacramento after going to Alabama State. I came back to Sacramento, age of 19. I got back in the studio and got in them clubs. You know what I mean? That's what I was doing every weekend. Every weekend. And so I was going to the club every weekend. I was going to church every weekend too. Right. And so they see a difference in me now than when I was back then. That's the witness. That's the testimony. You see? That's the witness and that's the testimony of what delivered me, what rescued me out of the pit. That right there, I think that's powerful enough in itself. So that to me should speak enough volume, and I know it does. I know it does, to the point where like I said, I've had people personally tell me, Sean, what you doing? I understand it. I'm just not ready for all that. They're not ready to give up their flesh. They're not ready to give up their lustful desires. They're not ready for this. And you know what? People a lot of times they do what they want to do. I had a friend. I'm going in right now, but not going in like preaching or whatever. But I'm just saying, bringing up things that I've conversations I've been privy to have. I've had friends talk to me about, is sage supposed to be used by the people of God? Are crystals supposed to be used by the people of God? And so I take them to the passages or whatever. I take them to the verses or whatever. And I'm like, okay, if you want to burn something, we got some frankincense and myrrh over here. And I said, okay, these crystals, I said, this is how the crystals was used, right? And they were not used in the fashion that you trying to use them in, right? And I show them the verses. I show them the verses, and I go through them. I go through them slow. But guess what? The people went out and did. Still, they went out and bought them some sage. They went out and got them some crystals. Why? Because they already had it made up in their mind before they asked me, right? They already had it made up in their mind that they was going to use sage and that they was going to use these crystals. They probably was just looking for a yes person. I'm not going to be no yes person, no, and they know I wasn't. However, I'm showing them from the text, and just like a wayward child or rebellious child, they went out and did it anyway. That's their grown person choice to do.
Just like Pharaoh.
Go ahead.
No, I said just like Pharaoh.
Yeah. I mean, how no matter how much I can break something down in the Hebrew and the Greek, right? No much how I could break something down to give you a proper definition. No matter how much I could break something down, letting you know it's an idiom or euphemism. No matter how much first century CE historical context I can give the people, they're going to do what they want to do. They have already made up their mind. They have already made up their mind. Now, to the point where some people, by people like us not doing something, it be condemning them. It indirectly condemns them. It indirectly tells them they doing something wrong. And at that point, it's time to pray for them. That's pretty much what it is. It's time to pray for them and hope that if they be the most high sheep, you know, that they hear the voice of the most high Yahweh. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You know what's wild about what you just said is like Paul was kind of dealing with something similar when he was telling them that they can't deal with the meat, so you got to keep feeding the milk. They got to just take in the stuff that they can digest, because a lot of this stuff is just too much for a lot of people. you know I
That's
come to
true.
realize that uh it's like we get these expectations set up, and we kind of forget our past and how long it took us to be attracted to what's said in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Because it took a while. I mean, I always believed in God. I wasn't really sure if about keeping the commandments or nothing like that. I wasn't really going to church, but I would just go by off of what other people were saying. And it's weird because the way that I got into even studying the Bible was well, it kind of got me really interested and intrigued in the Bible, is just going back and forth with my Seventh-day Adventist cousins. We'd be over at my parents' house, got the ham on the stove. I never really was a big fan of ham. Um, but the traditional ham and the turkey and the everything going on, gumbo, seafood. Oh, I love gumbo. But all of that stuff, we be at the house, and that was the tradition on New Year's, because we did our Christmas on New Year's. So, they'll be over there and then we'll be talking about it, and they talking about, well, Christmas is pagan. And I'm sitting over there like, well, ain't nobody really doing it for that reason. We doing it for the kids. That's like the main reason everybody does it. It's always for the kids, right? So the way I got started in it, man, me and my mom was going back and forth with them, tag teaming on the Seventh-day Adventist cousins. And I told myself, I was like, you know what? I mean, most I put it in my spirit to be like, well, let me go look and start reading this book so I can combat what they saying, because I wasn't really thorough in the scriptures. So I said, okay, let me go study so I can go, but I went to do it to go prove them wrong. And the more I read, the more I started seeing that they was right, you know? So, I mean, it's just real weird, man. It's like, it's powerful what you just said, because what you're people are not going to do what they're not ready to do. Just like a drug addict, man. You could talk till you blue in the face. You could spend all your money trying to put them in shelters that's going to help them kick the habit. But if they're not ready and willing to do it, then it's just all for naught. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to put in that work, that effort, to build their strength up and kick that habit. No, it's a lot of things that you got to do, especially if you're weak or you're in the stage of being really weak. You gotta stop hanging around certain people. You got to stop going out doing the same things that it's a total change, what you call it, a repentance. You got to repent from all of that stuff. You got to do a total change in your mind, change in your heart, and a change in your actions. Because if not, then I mean, if you're not really ready, you're not going to change. You're not. You might do it for a little while, then you're going to fall back into it. And then that's where that consistency comes into play at. You're not going to be consistent in nothing that you're saying, and you're not going to be consistent in nothing that you're doing. And that's one of the main issues that Christ and all the apostles had with the Pharisees. They said and they did not. You know, I mean, it's easy to talk the game, man. But if all you doing is jawsing, man, people ain't gonna look at that. They gonna look at you and be like, man, why am I listening to you? And you sitting over here, you know, you going out, you the pastor, and you going out, you know, cheating on your wife, or you out there, you know, trying to get some new young, what we call them, new young boo thing.
New young
trying to
Booth.
Yeah, you trying to get a new young boo thing. You know, I mean, it's a commitment, man. It's a hardcore commitment, and that's one of the things what especially in the New Testament when with the people, you know, they like, man, look, don't be coming over here eating this meal, you know, unless you're ready, because you're gonna eat it to your own damnation. Some people say it's the Eucharist. I believe it's the Passover, you know, but whatever it was a commitment meal, whatever they was doing. You know, you're not eating this meal because you're hungry. You're doing this because you're setting a commitment. You know, it's an agreement that you're making.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The food always sealed the contract after
man,
a
I'm
verbal
telling you.
agreement. Go ahead.
I'm telling you. And he was like, and Paul was like flashing on him, like, look, man, this is if you hungry, man, go eat at the house. Don't come over here eating this and you not ready to, you know, be down for what we doing. You know what I'm saying? This is a commitment meal, man. So you gotta do your thing, man. So that if people ain't ready, man, they not, you know, then, you know, you just
Right.
kind of gotta let them go and develop at their own stage. But then we can't get frustrated when they're not going at the pace that we would like them to go. You know
There
what
you
I'm
go.
saying? Because we always got to remember that we came from that same space that they was in. You know what I'm saying? And I'll end with this, but it's a meme going around. I shared it with BA when we did the socialism capitalism um, um, debate talk for you segment on the Man Up segment. Malcolm X, it's a meme, and it says, I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm gonna just say it because y'all might know what I'm talking about. But it says, don't get mad when people don't do what you do, because there was a time when you was in the same space, or something like that. It said it a little bit heavier, but that was the point that it was making. It was a powerful meme. I'll try to find it, but yeah, I'll yield with that one.
Yeah. BA, you got anything to say? You over there quiet, or you going to sleep?
You better
BA from
not let me find out you over there cooking no turkey.
he ain't over there cooking no turkey. He probably over there eating or sleep. You know what I mean?
No, no,
BA be getting up early in the morning. You know what? You
I'm
did
just
say
teasing.
something that segued into what I was gonna ask about next. We were talking about these memes on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We think we gonna convert somebody. We think we like instant grits and can turn somebody over to the ways of the Most High with these memes on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You know, I'm like just hearing me spew out my testimony. It was a life altering situation that helped bring my conviction into this walk, into this faith, right? And I'm like, well, what's a meme gonna do? Because I'm like, these people already done made up their mind about what they're gonna do regardless. You know what I mean? Well, like, what you think about that, Vinny? Besides the meme you just talked about, like,
Hey, every time I get into a conversation with somebody and they throw a meme out, I just imagine them just in the back right when they hit send. Like what they be over there like Welvin the Great, like, ha, got him. You know, like, what's up, Welvin? You got, yeah. Yeah, man, they be a trip with the memes, man. Some of them folks they don't even type nothing. They just throw hella memes at you, you know, just meme. It's like, dang, you know, this is wild. But yeah, man, I mean, you can't force nobody, man. Once I started realizing that, man, I think I was building up my stress level when I first got into it, and I was trying to
yeah,
convert everybody. Oh, you
hmm
eating that pork? You can't eat pork. You better stop eating that pork. You gonna go to hell. You know,
yeah,
he gonna come with the flames of the fire. You gonna be cooking over there. You know, but
yeah,
I think my stress level was high at that point, man, and it just said you just got to simmer down, simmer down, young fella, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I like I said, I personally had people ask me, since I'm so quote unquote astute and smart and intelligent and intellectual to them, it's like, yeah, Shanti, like how you can't get people to understand to or comprehend. I'm like, people still grown, they gonna make their choices, and I'm just like, I'm just a little old Ashanti, you know what I mean? Like we were saying, commitment. A lot of people are not
Mm-hmm.
ready to make that commitment. Just like a
Mm-hmm.
marriage, a lot of people like, hey, there's things in the fine line when you go get legally married. Hey, you know what I mean? I'm not
Right.
ready for all that.
You know what's
you know,
interesting too is like when somebody's ready, man, the Most High will draw you to them. You know,
that's what the
just
spirit
like
draws, right?
who was it? Peter? Was it Peter and the Ethiopian when he
Mhm.
drew the Ethiopian to him?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
Ethiopian was sitting over there trying to figure it out. He really wanted
Right.
to understand it. So the Most
Right.
High put his spirit like, look, go this way, and then he
Right.
told Peter, go that way, and it's they met up. And it's
Right. Right.
also like I just blanked out, but it was another case. Oh, Cornelius.
Also,
You know,
I was thinking that in my mind as you was talking.
man,
Go ahead. I was gonna
yeah.
say that.
Man, I'm telling you, man. If when people are ready, man, they will come near you. And then
Right.
also, even if they don't like inquiring about some of these things, like you can even look at them and like most of the people keep some of the laws anyway. Just because they're decent people.
Mhm.
I'm not
Mhm.
going to say good because nobody's good because we all falter at some point,
Right. Right. There's none righteous. No,
but some
not
of these
one.
right.
Go
Some
ahead.
some of these people, man, they might go out and eat a ham hock sandwich, you know, or and then they sitting over there sharing with the needy and giving to the poor, you know.
Right.
It's
Right.
like I used to sit over there and bash, like I used to like the understanding that I used to have, I used to sit over there and bash the Catholics. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Until there was one point in my life where I got into a bind, and we really needed some help. And actually, it wasn't even me. It was like this girl I knew. Where she got behind on her rent. About 3-4 months. Man, do you know that she went to? The Catholics had this program. The Catholics went and paid off her rent.
Mm.
Caught her back up
Mhm.
and everything, and
Right.
then was keeping in contact with her, making sure that she was okay and staying up on her game. You know,
Right.
so I stopped bashing people. Yeah, they might do some wrong things, and I'm probably not going to sit over there and believe a lot of the things that they say because
Right.
we differ on doctrinal views. But I
Mhm.
mean, there's some decent people out there, and you never know who the Most High is sending your way. You
True.
know, you never
Like
know.
Orthodox Morris says, you can build, and actually you can build on
Right,
things with the people that you have in common, because you might have a lot
man,
more in common with the people than not. You
man.
know.
What's the name? Moses and what's his stepfather's name? Um,
Jethro.
Jethro, right? He wasn't. You think he was out there going out trying to beat Jethro in the head? Like my God is the true God, and
And
this
he
and
didn't
this and
even
that.
need
No,
to, because I
he
mean,
didn't.
he's a
Right,
relative. He's a relative of
man.
Abraham. I mean, the Midianites are definitely from the
Right.
lineage of Abraham through Keturah. But go ahead.
But what did he say when he came and met them in the wilderness and brought his wife and them? Right. He
Hmm.
said, "Now I know that the
Right.
God is your God is the number one God." You know,
Right.
because of
Because
actions. It was he
because the
saw
action.
things
Right.
happening. Right,
Right. Right.
man.
Right.
Yep.
But his heart was in a place to be convicted, though, because some
Right,
people
right,
see
right.
and don't believe. There were
Yep.
some people who
Right.
chose to stay in Egypt after
Yep.
they witnessed physically the 10
Yep.
plagues.
You're
Some
right.
some people, for some people, seeing is not believing,
Mm-hmm.
because they're gonna have their way regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And just like what you said when the disciples left Christ,
Hmm.
when all
Yeah.
them people left Christ because he said one thing that they didn't like, They was out of there.
He like, this thing that you say is hard. This
Man,
word is
yeah.
hard,
They was like, man, well, this fool tripping.
right?
Yeah. He said, I'm about to go get me some French fries. Yeah, they was on one in the wilderness, man. I mean, I don't see how you can see all the miracles and then not believe it all. You know,
I
that's why
mean,
when I try to convince my son, man, I be telling him, I'm like, man, it takes a lot more for us to believe than it did them because they saw these miracles happening. You know, just think if everybody saw these miracles happening, it would be a lot easier for people to believe. You know,
well,
not saying that
sometimes
they will. Hmm.
sometimes they do believe. However, they want some of what you got, and they want some of what the other people got too. They want to have
Mm,
all the rewards and and
good
and the
point.
glitz. They want to have all the rewards, but then they want to have this over here from Sammy and Susie too. They want to have these other things, or these other elements, or attributes, or
Hmm.
things that
Right,
other
right.
people have. They want to be able to do that. The syncretism. That's what I see a
Hmm.
lot of times. Syncretism. You know, like
Mm.
like like I said, for the people.
Lukewarmness.
Yeah, the lukewarmness,
Hmm.
and like I said, that's wayward or rebellious children. I mean,
Right,
your
right.
your children know something is wrong, but they want to have the Nikes. They want to have the Jordans or whatever, and they
Hmm.
know what they got to do to get it, and to keep it, and to keep getting it. But they think they're supposed to entitlement. That's what it
Right,
is.
right, 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 right.
Entitlement. Man. They
You're
think they
right.
can have. They think they can get whatever they need to get or want to get from you because you're the parent, and they think they
Hmm.
can do they think they can do what other kids or people or children do, and they think that their entitlement allows them to get whatever reward you got coming for them by any means
Hmm.
necessary because you're the parent. You're supposed to love
Right,
unconditionally. That's what
right,
they
right.
believe. They like, yo, oh, I hear people say, well, God is gonna forgive me. You know what I mean? God is forgive me. God
Yeah.
is gonna forgive
Okay.
me. God knows my heart. So they think they can have these things because the Father Yahweh loves unconditionally. And
Mm.
and they believe because of that, they can always get back in the house, regardless of coveting other people's
Hmm.
things. You know?
Right. Yeah, you definitely right about that, and that's a good point. You know, but it's just wild. You know, it's really wild, and that's exactly what happened in the with when they wanted a king. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they had everything that they had. Like they had this super
Yeah.
king that brought them up out of the wilderness,
Right.
paved their way. All you got to
Right.
do is do this, and I'm gonna
Yep.
take care of you. Ain't nobody gonna be able to stand up against you. You done already
Right.
seen some semblance of that, but
Yep.
then you looking at these other nations and you
Yep.
want the king. You
You
know what
want a
I'm saying?
king. You want
And
what they
then
want.
and the cold part about it is Samuel told them exactly what would happen when they got a king.
A
Like,
whole bunch
okay,
of
you'll
negative
take the
things.
kid.
They're like,
Man,
we'll take that.
oh yeah,
They'll be like, oh, that ain't nothing. We can handle that. We can
man.
deal with that.
Man, it's like it's all for show. You know, everything is for show. You
Well,
know,
not wanting to,
it's
not
like,
sometimes not wanting to be left out. You
well,
know.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, yeah,
Oh,
you
okay,
want you
okay.
want to feel special about the things that you acquire. Like, I got this, you got that, I got this too. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
mine is bigger than yours. That type of deal. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Big bank take little bank. And then
Right.
it's like people feed off of that type of energy. That's I guess that's why we call sheeps. We're sheeple
Mm.
because we're
Mm.
the sheep. We're definitely the sheep. You
Right.
know, and everybody, and it's the cold part about it is everybody's like that. You know, but and you have to fight that urge. You have to
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
fight that
Yeah.
urge. Like Paul
Yeah.
said, I die every day. I
Die
die
every
every
day
day.
to the flesh. Right. You got to take
Every
up
day.
your stake daily. You know what I
Man,
mean?
facts.
That's why I said
Yeah.
this walk is not for the faint of heart.
It's not for the faint of heart at all. It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
Well,
You
Yeshua
know.
said, he who loves mother or father or themselves
Mhm.
pretty much more than me is not worthy of me, not worthy to be my servant.
Man, and people get hung up on that, like, oh, the Messiah's telling you to do something. Okay, but Moses kind of did the same thing when he was like, "Who's with the Lord now?" You know,
Right.
and then everybody
Right.
stepped up and they went and whacked all. I mean, they knocked down all their family. in the
Yep.
wilderness. You
Yep.
know, knock them all down. Mothers, it
And
didn't even matter. You
and
was in idolatry, you was dead.
I believe that's when the Levitical priesthood got established, because it
Yep,
was out of
it
those
was.
who stood up and made that stand and did that
Yep.
action. Yeah.
Yep. And it was all about action. Even when the most of the Levites started going astray, and then the Zadokites stepped up and did their thing, and then he was like, okay, well, since they're doing wrong, I'm gonna give it to you. It's still gonna be in the Levites, but now you're gonna get it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So I
Right.
mean, it's just wild. But you have to be moved to do these type of things, you know, and it
True.
takes a different kind of spirit, just like well, all the prophets, you know. But what about Jephthah? You know,
Yep.
Jephthah,
Yep.
Jephthah was going hard. I mean, he really believed, even to the point to where he gave up his own daughter. Where you believe he really burnt her on a sacrifice, or whether he just gave her up to the temple service, it doesn't matter. You know, that was his only child. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he
Right.
gave it up because that's what he said. He was like, man,
Right.
I believe the Most High. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I'm just gonna do what I said I was gonna do.
Gonna
I'm gonna
do.
have faith
Right.
and I'm gonna do it. You know, but I think
Right.
that's where we waver at too. You know, it's
Right.
and it's definitely about being a part of something. You know,
Mm.
because when I first started watching the YouTube videos, you know, and I ain't gonna lie, I mean I came in watching the IUICs.
Me too. I
And,
watched
yeah,
them. I should be the alphabet
yep,
peoples. I watched all of them.
ISUPK. I
Yeah.
watched all of them, and I ain't even gonna lie, man. Some of the stuff that they say is real true, but
Yeah.
then they got them doctrines. Some of them doctrines just way off.
And
And the
the
one,
approach and the approach that they use is pretty much not in the spirit of the Most High to me. I mean, you're not
well,
supposed to. But go ahead.
I'm kind of indifferent on it because I think that they're out there in a warlike state when they're on the street. Because if you really look at them when they get behind the scenes and you dialogue with them by themselves, when they're not really like in battle mode on the street, then
I
it's
mean,
like
but
you get a
why
whole different
why they
person.
gotta be in battle mode when, I mean, there's not a battle. I mean, the people on the street, they walking. You know what I mean? They not
Ah,
in a
but they
battle.
they
But
advance a battle, but they're
I mean,
they're
but
in
yeah,
battle mode.
I
Yep,
feel you. This is a battlefield. But my
yep,
thing is, like, my thing is, put on the full armor of God. When you
right,
out in the
right,
battlefield, you
right,
put on
right,
the full armor of God. You know what I
right,
mean?
right, right,
So,
right, right,
so
right.
I'm like, there's a way you approach in a battle, and there's a way you approach in a war. But how you going to the battle with people who don't even know they're in a battle or a war? You gotta,
Hmm.
look, you gotta give your opponents a chance to understand that they're a rival or enemy or whatever. You know what I mean? But some of these
Right.
people, they walking down the street minding their own business. They just going to the store or something, or just taking a walk, or recreating or whatever. So
Hmm.
that, I mean, but it's I think it's a way that you cry loud and spare not. You know what I'm
Right, right,
saying?
right,
And
right.
and certain situations call for different measures. But go ahead. Go
You're
ahead.
right. You're right. Yep. There's a time and a thing for everything, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna wrap this up pretty much, but we got the gist of what we wanted to say.
Why?
What'd you say? What'd you say, Vinny? What you say,
I
Vinny?
know. I said I just blanked out and I don't even know why.
Oh man, probably because I was talking about
Yeah.
the IUICs and the ISUPKs. I mean, well,
Oh,
I mean,
oh,
because speaking of that, go ahead, go
oh
ahead.
no. Speaking of them, go ahead.
No, before you lose your thought,
Ah,
please.
okay. So yeah. So I was gonna say, man, like them dudes, man, like some of them, like they teach like it's a lot of good teachers. I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of good teachers in them camps. They might not teach the right thing, and I think that if they taught something else, then they would be a little bit more helpful. But I mean, it seemed like everybody got a different mission though. You know, like they're in search for like the lost tribes of the Israelites. But then how you gonna turn away other people? That's what I don't understand. You know, like if somebody comes up to them and is like real, inquisitive and really want to know about God, you're not going to teach them because you got you feel some type of way about them doing things that Israel got kicked out of the land for. It's like everybody done did the same thing. Israel was at war and they was enslaving them own selves. You know, even if you go back to Africa, I mean, they was selling themselves. Enslaving them own selves. So it's just a spirit, man. I was I kind of got like this new thing, like this new understanding about like when I'm reading the text. It's like, you know, when they start calling people Israelites, or when they start calling people Edomites, or when they start calling people, it's all based on characteristics. You know, like an Israelite could be an Edomite, you know, or Israelite could be a Canaanite. You know, it just depends on what type of spirit you got on you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna be the people if you out there doing wrong. So um the one of the most powerful things that we can do is just to get back to it is just like our actions, you know, is our actions. I'm not gonna go out there and cuss you out, you know, because you don't want to do what I do. I'm not gonna tell you you're going to hell because I don't know. I'll probably go to hell and you might make it, you know, and you over there eating pork sandwiches. I don't know. I'm not the one that's in there. That's giving, you know, giving the okay, you know. So I mean, I think the most important thing that we could do is just be the light, you know, and that's basically through our actions, you know. The people will know, you know, and if they start asking questions, then you know that's it is what it is, you know. But
Yeah,
I try to bring good energy wherever I'm at, um, because you're not gonna win nobody over there out there screaming at nobody, cussing them out. Well, I can't say that they not because they won a whole lot of people over, you know. But it, it it's definitely an eye opener because I think that their type of evangelism is meant for the people who is like feeling, you know, you feel a certain type of way, man. Like if you sitting over there getting beat up by white people all day long, you know, and you hear that, of course you're gonna be like, damn, this you know this they might be on to something. You know what I'm saying? And then you start seeing everything that they talking about in there, and it's like you know it's easy to believe that. But then what you're gonna do when you start studying on your own and you start seeing other things? Are you gonna want to dig deeper? Are you gonna want to just stay stuck in that mode? You know, and I think that that's where like a lot of the people, like especially those who the debates. I think the debates are very edifying because the way I came out of it, and I'm putting myself in when I say a lot of those people, I put myself in those people because I listen to like the brother Josh's, I listening to like the Zadoks and the brother Judas and the brother Tim's, you know, and so many other people who've had debates with that went up against the ideology that I thought that I was in, that I thought was like real truthful, and you know, I start studying like I did with my 7 Day Adventist cousins. Go hit the books, you know, looking for stuff to prove them wrong, and then boom, it's like okay, I'm proven wrong again, you know. So I got to humble down. Now I got to just be the light and start showing off what I'm learning, you know, and through my actions, of course, you know. But
right.
I think this platform helps a lot, you know. But it's definitely through action, I think. But go ahead, sis. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. I feel you like not being out on the street corner cussing people out. You know what I
Nah.
mean? Like, but
Yeah.
the whole over aggressive behavior, the whole over aggressive
Yeah.
approach, the name calling, not
Right.
just on the streets, but on the internet, debating back
Mm-hmm.
and forth, you know, over memes or on the YouTube
Hmm.
or you know, in those areas. You know, we do those of us who know better,
Right.
right? Those of us who know better, we know what approach to initiate a conversation. You
Right.
know what I mean? So you can, you know, some people, yeah, you attract, but those are the minority that you attract. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and the people you drive away, those could be the majority. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's good to check our own behavior as to how we think we need to get somebody's attention. You
Hmm.
know, but cry aloud and spare not. I think we've you know I think we've abused that phrase. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, raise up your voice, but that verse was initially for the people of Israel. Now, some
Right.
people who are walking down the street, they don't know they quote unquote Israel. Now, I don't even believe that everybody who claims to be Israel is Israel. You know,
I don't either.
but I don't even believe the whole only black people is Israel thing. I don't no, because it's an
Nah.
action word. It's
Yep.
he who strives, wrestles, and prevails
Yep.
with the Most High Yahweh Elohim. That's what Israel
Yep.
mean. It's the action word. So I'm just
You
saying.
know what's you know what's
Go ahead.
interesting about that too is like they always talk people always talk about like Israel this, Israel that, right? And they always talk about strangers and strange this, strange that, right? But anything like yeah, you a stranger cannot eat of the Passover, but who is a stranger? It's all those who don't circumcise themselves, you know. It's all those who are just you know, it's the ones who ain't circumcised, you know. So no, you can't eat the Passover. Not even the
Yeah.
Israelites. Israelites were strangers if they wasn't circumcised, you know. They
And you
couldn't
know,
even eat the
a
Passover.
lot of the people who were born in the wilderness, they weren't circumcised until they until they crossed over the river into the
Hello,
land. You know that? Yeah.
hello, you know.
You there? Go ahead. Can you hear me, Vinny? Oh, can
That
you hear
for
me,
real,
Vinny?
man. It's like, yeah, no, I'm just saying this.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. It seemed like something cut out for a minute, but go ahead. We're gonna wrap up in a minute, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So no, I was just saying like, you know, everything is strange to the Most High when he's not. You're doing it in a different way that you're not supposed to be doing it. You know, like you know, all this is gonna be a shocker to a lot of people, but everybody, all even if you're Israelite, everybody is not gonna be a king, and everybody is not gonna be a priest. You know what I'm saying? There's certain lineages that line was promised to, and if you're not in that lineage, then you're stranger. You trying to become a king, and you ain't meant to be a king, then you're a stranger. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to become a priest and do the priestly duties, and you're not really a priest, then guess what? You a stranger. Just like what's the name of them? They went in there. They was priests. They went in there and started doing strange fire, you know, and they wasn't supposed to be doing that strange fire because it wasn't
Nadab and Abihu.
right, it wasn't ordained at that time, so it's strange. You know what I'm saying? He
Well,
told you
I
not to do
mean,
it like that.
well, yeah, he
Hmm.
told you not to do it like that. And any time the Most High, you bring something near to him, and he did not prescribe it for you, was strange.
Right. And that's just the same thing with people, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How you gonna enter into his holy place? Number one, you're not circumcised in the flesh. Number two, you're not circumcised in the heart. So you got a double negative going on right there. You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna go into the most holy place and you trying to do your thing like, okay, well, he knows my heart. I'm about to go. Nah, man, you yeah, you're strange right now, you know? And it could be whoever, you know, could be whoever. Just like the priest's daughter. Once you married somebody, you know, you couldn't eat of them sacrifices no more. You know, you got a husband, you know, that's not in the lineage of the priests. You married somebody else, you know, you got a husband. No, you got to go over there with your husband. You can't eat these sacrificial meals of the high priest no more, you know. But then again, if the husband died, then you could. It's all in the order. I mean, we all like to say order, order. You know, it's all about order. But then we don't look at the order, and it's like we do a lot of stuff to try to fit our own doctrines. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy. It's crazy to me, at least.
My thing is, this kingdom is just like a house. It's a house, it's a
Right.
temple. And in the house you
Right.
got, parent. And a parent
Hmm.
has rules or measurements or
Hello.
boundaries that establish it,
Right.
and the family name is Israel, right? The household family
Yep.
name is Israel. And there are
Yep.
rules to signify that your parent is Israel and you belong in the house of Israel. And a lot of
Hmm.
times these rules are there, right? Because they are protective measures for you, right?
Hmm.
And these rules are there in place for you to show that you love the parent, right? Who was
Hmm.
providing food, water, clothing, shelter, right? So
Hmm.
it's a crazy thing to know that we have our own rules in our house, right?
Mm.
We have our own rules in our houses, and if somebody set foot in our houses and they break one of our rules, we can't wait to kick them out, right?
Mm.
But we can't see the practicality of the Most High Yahweh's house. We can't see that the Most High
Man.
Yahweh is a father. The Most High Yahweh as a father has a house with rules. And we
Mm-hmm.
understand why can't we understand the practicality of if we don't follow the most high Yahweh Father's rules, then we
Mm-hmm.
could get kicked out. You know what I
Man.
mean? And
Man.
the thing is, when you got rules and you break them, you get punished. You get negative consequences. You get punished. If you do what you're supposed to do, and if you do what you're asked or what you're told, you get rewards. It's as simple as that.
Man.
But you know,
Facts. And
as wayward, rebellious children, we always try to bend our parents so we can have our way. You know what I
man.
mean? Not
Tell
understanding
me.
that our parent knows best. Our parent is the one raising us, knowing
Yep.
best, the one providing,
Mm-hmm.
the one allowing us to have this food, water, clothing, and shelter. Right? They're doing what's best
Mm-hmm.
for us. Right? They're they're
Yep.
they're they're keep they're keeping us protected.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's
I
the
I I I,
truth.
I like to 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 bring the practicality. You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to do when we're bringing compelling evangelism. We're trying to spread the gospel, the good
Mm-hmm.
news of the Most High Yahweh through His Son Yeshua the Messiah. Right? That's what we're trying to
Mm-hmm.
say. We're trying to bring the understanding of what I just said, the practicality of the Most High Yahweh's house, the temple, the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't want to understand it, or if they can't understand it right now, the Most High Yahweh hasn't met them at where they're at that time, or if the Most High Yahweh is still working on them and going through the steps of the process, then it's our duty to respect it.
Mm.
It's our duty
Facts.
to respect it. That's all it
Yep.
is. It's our duty to respect it. As grown adults, as loving, compassionate adults, we are supposed to respect it. We don't
And
always have to agree with it, just respect
mhm.
it. But go ahead.
And I think if people looked at it the way that you just broke it down right now, then I think it would become a lot more easier to understand. You know, it's like we get so wrapped up into saying, oh, the New Testament came and now we don't have to do this no more, and we can forget about this one and we forget about that one. But what we don't realize is, man, all this stuff it's like a blueprint. You know, it's a family. It's a family or a nation, however you want to look at it. You know, and each family or each house has its own rules. Each nation has its own rules. You know, and in order to be a part of that kingdom, it's like why would the Most High create us and then not leave us with no blueprint on how to do nothing? You know what I'm saying? How to
Plus,
maintain our
plus, plus,
bodies.
plus, the Most High
Mhm.
Yahweh told us it was not a burden. Go ahead.
Hello, how to maintain our bodies, how to maintain the land, how to treat the animals, how to do this, how to treat your brothers, how to properly love somebody. Yeah, it is unconditional love, but it's not the love that we've been grown to or the definition that we've come to understand it as or grew up to
Right,
understand it as. Because definitions change depending on who's in charge of the verbiage.
right,
Like
right.
we're in a democratic well, it's not really a democratic system, but it's kind of like a
It's
democratic
supposed to be.
philosophy, right? If everybody says it's okay, then it's okay. No, that
No.
don't make it okay.
Right,
That just means that
right,
you just got more wicked people sitting over
right.
there, saying that it's okay. So I mean, and then once you start going, start accepting some wickedness, then you got to start accepting a lot more, because it goes back to what I was saying about consistency. Somebody gonna hold you to it. Well, you said that you could do this, but then you saying we can't do this, but then you going around doing that. So what is it? Well, okay, now you want to compromise. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
yep.
And it just all gets away. It's just like that snowball effect. It all starts going away and gets further and further and further away, and then eventually we out the garden. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
didn't we didn't we didn't listen to the serpent and taught us some smooth things. Now we think we want to be guys now. You know what
Yep,
I'm saying? Making
yep,
up our own rules.
yep.
Oh, God's gonna because I haven't died yet, because he said we were gonna die. I didn't die yet, so he must be okay with it. Nah,
Yep.
you know, you know what I'm saying? Nah,
Right.
Nah, now you just got action. You know what I'm
Other
saying? That's
thing,
what
other things could not be manifesting in your life that you want them to. You know what
you
I'm
see what I'm
saying?
saying?
Because of that,
Yeah.
just because you're not physically dead,
Right.
doesn't mean other things in your life are not traumatic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But
I've seen that happen.
even in the scripts though, it tell you that he suffers, he puts up with it for a time, and then eventually it's just gonna come to pass, you know,
Hmm.
because he said what he say. I mean, we're all created from him, so our job is to just love him and love each other. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's what our job
Right.
is,
Right.
you know. So the thing that I would say, is like if I all boiled it all down to it, man, show the proper way to how to love people. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? It
On a
ain't just
consistent
no, I'm
basis.
a hug you. Sometimes it's no. Sometimes you gotta say no. Sometimes you might have to either give somebody a quick one, boom, just to wake them up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You
You still there, Vinny? Oh boy.
might to like God, care like God. Because what did God say? And then I'll yield. He said, oh no, in Hebrews, when it was talking about God loving the people, he was like, he chastises the people he loves.
Right.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yep.
So it's like once you stop receiving chastisement, then then something should tell you that, okay, now he's not even caring no more, or he might be
Mm.
caring, but he's just not even dealing with us no more. you know
Mm.
but a prideful person gonna be like, okay, see, yep, it's okay now. We don't have to
Mm.
do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's
Right.
just your leash. We being treated like Pharaoh. Your leash is just getting longer and longer and longer. Eventually you either gonna hang yourself or you gonna come back to where the foundation of that leaf is based at. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Um. Y'all. I do want to close out with this. Matthew 7 says. Verse 13. Enter in through the narrow gate, because the gate is wide and the way is broad that leads to destruction, and there are many who enter in through it. Because the gate is narrow and the way is hard pressed, which leads to life, and there are few who find it. Now, there are going to be few who find this way, and it's okay. The ones who do find this way, to Yahweh be the glory. And I'm making sure every day the Most High Yahweh allows me to wake up breathing, that I'm trying to keep my life right, intact, and in together, and in align with the Most High Yahweh's will, because I'm still trying to make it into the kingdom. I don't know, but I hope so. Right? I understand I understand that I'm saved by grace through faith. My thing is, I want to make sure that I'm doing right by my Father Yahweh. I don't want to take advantage. I don't want to be abusive. I don't want to be entitled. you know, I just want to try to do what's in alignment with the Most High Yahweh's will, and keep allowing my witness to be the evangelism that it has been. Even though people who I know don't come into this walk when I think they should come, or if they should come at all, I know that they see what I'm doing. I know that they are understanding of what I'm doing, right? And I know that if ever they have a life altering situation, that they have a possibility to be convicted, to be convicted, to be in the walk, right? To get their life together, to have that genuine personal relationship with the Most High Yahweh. Please understand that if people get bothered by your choices, by you not participating or partaking in something, or choosing not to indulge in something, you know what? Just keep that person in your prayer. Sometimes you might need to clap back just to get them off your back. However, take them up to the Most High Yahweh in prayer, because they're feeling they're feeling some sort of way. They're feeling sometimes intimidated, and they feel that you're telling them indirectly that they're wrong. That's what they feel. And they're very hurt. We're not supposed to be worried about feelings over here, but they're very hurt. Just take them up to the Most High Yahweh in prayer. However, your witness is not in vain just because somebody doesn't come over into the walk when you want them to come over. Don't think you're not doing enough. And just the FYI, the Facebook memes, the Instagram posts, and the Twitter posts, trying to get somebody to change their choices all of a sudden, people are not going to change their mind once they've made their mind up and they're adamant about something, right? So just simmer in your walk. Just keep doing your thing and keep loving people. Keep loving people, keep showing them, keep praying for them and praying with them, and when they're ready to make that commitment, they'll know to go to you. They know who to come to. They'll know who to come to. And so that's compelling evangelism. Make sure the approach is in love, having some self-control, not over aggressive, you know, not belittling, condemning, and berating and ridiculing, and name calling and throwing personal attacks and ad hominems. That stuff does not draw people to the Most High. I understand that you might want to lift up your voice. You know, the thing is, understand that your witness is more so physical than verbal a lot. It's more so physical than verbal. People see by your example, and people see by your consistent example, as Brother Vinny says. So with that, I thank y'all for tuning in, joining in, the people who came in. I hope you have a good and blessed rest of your night. This is the second quarter debate talk for you on the YouTube. Brother Vinny, go ahead and say your last words, and then I'll end with the priestly Aaronic blessing.
Yeah, nothing else need to be said after that. You know, only thing left, chitty chitty bang bang. Y'all
I
have a
love
good night.
y'all. Love y'all with the love of the Most High. Love, compassion, grace, mercy, and patience, long suffering with the people. You know what I mean? That's the motto. And I want to say, Ko Tehelim, Ko Kabod, Wahati Fedet Le Yahweh, Abinu Eloheinu. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, our Father, our Elohim, our deity, our power. All right. Yavarechacha Yahweh wa Yishmerekah. Ya er Yahweh panavelecha wihunika. Yesa Yahweh panavelecha wa yasem laka shalom. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face shine on you and show you favor. May Yahweh lift up his peace towards you and give you shalom, completeness, wellness, wholeness. All right. The second quarter. Sister Ashanti, Brother BA, and Brother Vinny. We out. Shalom, shalom. Lala Tov.